everybody, and welcome back to Potted Plant Entertainment. We have a good one for y'all today. Yeah, we're doing our annual top 10 list, right? Every year I do 3 top 10s. I do my best of the year, worst of the year, and most anticipated in the next year. Right now, we are doing my top 10. I'm going to move this slightly. My top 10 worst movies of 2023. Now, I think in total this year I saw 40 something new movies. Most of them were in theaters. I don't typically watch like new streaming content because it's usually just very bad. Like there's just no hope. Like streaming content is just almost never good. It's like whenever something is straight to streaming released, I'm just like, okay, so the studio had no faith in this, so they dumped it on streaming. Got it. Excuse me. I am drinking Coke. Okay. So I think of those 40-something movies, 1 or 2 of them were straight to streaming. And on my list here, none of these are straight to streaming. You know why? It's because I skipped just about all of the straight to streaming movies. The only one I really wanted to see was Good Burger 2, just because I love the first one so much, but I don't have Paramount Plus, so hopefully it'll come out on Blu-ray at some point. Anyway, this is my list. If you didn't check out my favorite movies of 2023, go check that out. It's a good time. Talk about movies that I like, and I got to be happy. But in this video, it's going to be a completely different mood because today I'm not happy. Because today we are talking about the crap, the filth, the garbage, the bottom of the barrel, the random crack pipe that you find behind a dumpster and it's been used a lot and it's just there and you see it but you don't want to touch it. That's what these are now. That's what these movies are. Not all of them. There's a few on these I thought on this list I thought was okay. In order to get to 10, I couldn't just put movies that I hate. I had to just put the ones I enjoyed the least. So there's a few on here that I thought was all right. But I didn't really love any of these movies. They're not that great. And in fact, some of these are pretty bad. Yeah. So let's get into it. Here are my top 10 worst movies of 2023. And by the way, I would just like to say that I did not see The Nun 2 because I was too busy to see it, so I had to skip it. Still haven't watched it, but I guarantee if I did see it, it was on this list. I don't even need, yeah, because you didn't see the movie, you can't judge it. I don't care. I don't care. I just know. Okay, I know it would be on this list if I saw it. So that is my honorable mention of this video, is The Nun 2, a movie that I did not see. Oh, and I bet Insidious the Red Door probably would have been on this list too. I had to skip that one too. But I bet they would. I'm sure they were just as bad as everyone said they were. Okay, all right, moving on. At number 10, we have Haunted Mansion. So Haunted Mansion is not a bad movie. Like I said, I didn't just put movies on here that I hated, but it was not that great. This was very forgettable, one-off movie. It had some really sloppy editing, and it was just so forgettable. It's no wonder the movie bombed. Why did they even release this in the summer? Wouldn't you think they'd release this at Halloween time? But they released it during the summer, and so nobody went to see it. I mean, it probably would have bombed even if they released it in October, but I'm sure it would have made more money than it did. They dropped this in wouldn't this come out like July or August? Why would this be a summer movie? This should have been a Halloween movie. Still not a great Halloween movie, but, and I thought some of the performances, especially by the lead guy, what's his name, Lakeith something, I can't ever remember. He was really good in the movie, but the villain was forgettable. Everything about this movie was forgettable. I saw this movie, never thought about it again. The only reason I'm telling my list is because I marked that I saw it on my list of movies I want to see on my phone. I'm like, oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah, it was pretty forgettable. I'll put that on the list. That's the only reason why that's here. At number 9, we have Five Nights at Freddy's. Okay, so this one, I think I enjoyed this one a little bit more than Haunted Mansion, but I have to admit, Haunted Mansion was a better made film, which is why it's at it's at number 9, below Haunted Mansion. This movie has some really piss poor writing. I enjoyed some of the performances in it. It's always good to see Shaggy and stuff, but it was so stupid. It was so, like what the moment in the movie where I realized how bad this was getting was when they're laying underneath a fort that they made with the robots. The characters, the humans, are laying there with the robots, with the fort that they made, like they're playing with them. That's when I was like, okay, this is getting really freaking stupid. Like, what were they thinking? This should have been a rated R horror movie. I mean, I get it's Five Nights at Freddy's, kids like Five Nights at Freddy's, but kids can't go see R-rated horror movies. I get it, but at the same time, if you're gonna make a horror movie, go for it. Make it good. If you want to make a horror comedy, then work on making it a little bit funnier, because it wasn't that funny. It just wasn't. The writing was bad. It just was. Some of the ideas in it were good, but a lot of them were really, really bad. So that's why that's on this list. Okay, and number 8, this is the one that's going to give me hate. Hold up. Let me just, before you yell at me. This video is not sponsored. At number 8, we have Talk to Me. Now, hold up. Wait. Take your finger off the keypad. Back up. Back up. Just back up. Let me explain. Okay. So I know a lot of people really like this movie. Okay. I appreciated the fact that this was an original film. You know me. I love original filmmaking. I want to support original filmmaking, which is why I put the creator on my top 10 best of this year, because it was original, and I like that. But this movie was not very enjoyable for me. I thought it was weird. I thought it was gross. I thought it did a lot of things for shock value. I wasn't really that into the characters. They were just kind of stereotypical. And I didn't really like the ending. I don't even really remember the ending very well, but I don't think I understood it. I think it was just kind of like, what was that all about? Oh, that was interesting and mysterious, but I was like, no, it was just weird. I thought this movie was disgusting and over the top. I know I sound like an old man right now, but sorry, you can do gore right. I just didn't think this did that right. I just thought this was too weird, too gross. I like the idea, but I just feel like it was too over the top. And there was times where I had to like look away from the screen because they were just doing too much. I didn't enjoy the experience of watching this movie. But if you did, cool. Don't hate on me, bro, okay? It's just my opinion, all right? Sorry. All right, at number 7, we have The Boogeyman. This was a movie I didn't even want to see, but my friend dragged me to see this. Actually, same friend dragged me to see Haunted Mansion, by the way. He doesn't ever drag me to see anything good. Every time he drags me to theaters for something bad. So we went to see The Boogeyman, and this is the most stereotypical, unimaginative, run-of-the-mill horror movie I have ever seen. There is nothing original here. There is nothing new. This movie is like every other freaking supernatural horror movie you've seen, but boiled down to dull. There's just nothing here that was creative. There was a few scenes where like the boogeyman attacks this little girl. Those scenes did kind of have me on the edge of my seat, but that was it. And the monsters, of course, is CGI, which just ruins it because CGI is not scary. Guys, studio executives, CGI is not scary. Stop making CGI scary stuff. It's not scary. You know what's scary? Practical effects. When you see something on a screen and can tell that's real, I mean, obviously, you know it's fake, but you could tell that it's a physical thing that they filmed. That's scary. CGI is not scary because we can tell that it's a cartoon. Our eyes can see that. We're not dumb. Christopher Nolan has preached this so many times. Our eyes know the difference between something that's real and something that's animated. CGI is not scary. Stop doing this. Most forgettable movie I think I saw all year. At number 6, we have The Expendables 4. I'm sure some people probably expect me to put this higher on my list, but let me explain. Or lower. Would it be higher or lower? I don't know. I love Jason Statham. As a matter of fact, I've seen, I think, like 35 of his movies. I think the only actors I've seen more movies from are Samuel L. Jackson and Harrison Ford. So I think he's my third most watched actor ever. I love the guy. He doesn't make a lot of great movies, but he's so good at what he does that it's hard to hate on him because he's just so good at what he does. The guy is a legend, in my opinion. He's one of the greatest action movie stars of all time. I just wish he would do better stuff sometimes. He's got this movie coming out in January called The Beekeeper. Trailers look really promising. I have high hopes. But this was not what I wanted. Look, I'm a really big fan of the first two Expendables movies. They're not the best movies ever made. I understand that. But there is something about them that makes them really, really enjoyable. And I think it's just because of this cast. You've got Stallone, Statham, Willis, Schwarzenegger. Even Harrison Ford is in the third one. And I didn't love that one, but that one's definitely better than this one for sure. Mel Gibson's in that one as the villain. He's great in that movie. Terry Crews is such a delight in everything. And Dolph Lundgren, that guy makes a lot of really bad movies, but hey, he can kick some serious butt. Okay, those first two Expendable movies, Jean-Claude Van Damme as the villain is so awesome. They're so much fun. I get that they're not amazing, but they are a whole lot of fun, and I personally really enjoy them. Then the third one fell off. Not horrible, but definitely nothing special. This one was just not good. They took Stallone out of this. He's there at the beginning. And you know what? I'm just going to spoil this movie. Sorry, I don't care. So, like, they kill him off. And then at the end of it, he suddenly shows up and it's like, oh no, I wasn't dead. I was just faking it because, you know, the bad guy would have done this, and that if he thought it was alive. So really I was helping you. And it was like, he's the main character of this series. The decision to make Jason Statham the main character, it's not a bad one, but if you're going to do that, then let him take the reins. Kill off Stallone, keep him off, make Statham the hero, and then make more movies with him as the hero. But they didn't do that. The writing in this movie is so bad. The only reason why I somewhat enjoyed this movie is just because of Jason Statham. And it's just so much fun to watch him do his thing. I love watching him fight bad guys. He's just so good at it. That's the only reason why I kind of enjoyed this movie. But yeah, I gotta admit, this was a pretty big letdown, and honestly, it deserved a bomb. It really did. And it bombed hard. Like, nobody went to see this movie. And I can't really say I feel bad for them. They kind of deserve it. They didn't. This was pretty lazy. I didn't like it that much. At number 5, we have Knock at the Cabin. Look, for a long time, I was a Shyamalan defender, and at this point, I just don't know if I could keep doing it. I remember when they first teased this movie, they put out this, he posted this really cool poster on his Instagram, and I was like, that looks so cool. If I can find the poster, I'll put it here. If not, then there's nothing here. But I thought that looks really cool. I thought this could be great because I liked it when I saw it in theaters, but the more I marinated on it, the more I realized how dumb it was, and I've come to appreciate it less. So I was like, oh, this could be really good. Like, this could be his best movie since Split, because I freaking love Split, right? Then the trailers came out, and holy crap, was I disappointed. This movie looked so bad in the trailers. And now I know the big talking point before I even continue, no, I did not dislike this movie because it's about a gay couple with an adopted child. Okay, it's not. Just shut up. Okay, this was. He did the same thing with this, like he did with The Village. He advertised it like a horror movie, and it's not. Like, he got me all hyped up thinking it was gonna be this really cool, scary movie, and it's just not what it is. Shyamalan, stop misleading us, bro. Okay? That's part of the reason why The Village got crapped on so hard when it came out, because you advertised it like a horror movie. Now, granted, I know he has since admitted that that was a mistake, but he did it again with this. At first. But then he didn't mislead us with the trailers. Thankfully. But still, I just cannot get into this. The idea was cool, but the execution was just not good. Okay? You should take this idea and make it a scary movie. This is just a thriller that's not really that good. And it should have been a horror movie. They should have found a way to make this scarier and better. I just didn't like it that much. So, yeah. At number 4, we have The Pope's Exorcist. Okay, so when I was watching this movie, I'm sitting there watching this and I'm thinking, because I saw it, I think, a little while after it came out, and I was like, this isn't nearly as bad as people were saying it is. But then it kept going, and I was starting to get it, and then by the end of it, I just completely and totally checked out. The ending of this movie is like a freaking Marvel movie. It is over the top, CGI everywhere, just not, no. The ending of this movie, it was just too much. It was way too much, and I completely and totally checked out on this by the end of the film. This is forgettable. Russell Crowe is really good in it, obviously. He was obviously the big draw to this movie. But, sorry, I'm still a little sick. But there's a million exorcism movies out there. Ever since this came out, there's just like a million exorcism movies out there. And this just kind of feels like it just kind of falls into the pack. Just wasn't that great. And this is based on a true story too. So I thought this could be pretty good. It's not horrible, but it's just, it's just, At number three, we have another exorcism movie. This one is a direct sequel to this, one of my favorite scary movies, an actual good movie. Yes, touch it, feel it, rub my nipples in it. It's a good film, okay? This is good movie right here. The Exorcist, one of my favorite scary movies. So this year, they decided that they were going to let David Gordon Green ruin yet another horror franchise. Oh, ain't that sweet of you, Hollywood? Thank you for that. We appreciate that. Where is it? Everybody just shut up. Where is it? LMNOP. David Gordon Green, go back to making stuff like this. Because I gotta tell you, bruh, ever since you started making scary movies, not that impressed. Okay, The Exorcist Believer. Okay, so yeah, this is the same thing. He took all the Halloween sequels, removed them from canon, and just made more direct sequels to the original, doing the same thing again. Except somehow he screwed this one up even worse. Because 2018 Halloween wasn't that bad. And then Halloween Kills was at least enjoyable, even though the writing was really bad. And then Halloween Ends was just, no, not good. I think this is probably slightly better than Halloween Ends. But it's definitely a worse start. Like, this was not good. What is he doing with these franchises? I don't understand. What is he doing? What is going on in his head that makes him make stuff like this? He takes this idea where now we have two possessed girls instead of one. But the second one isn't important at all. She's just there. She has almost no purpose in this. She's just there so that there's two. Okay, there's two. Ugh. No. Stop it. David Gordon Green. Stop it. No. Give the other two movies, because you know there's going to be two others. Give the other two movies to someone else and you get out of this. Leave it alone. Stop messing with it. You're ruining it. This movie had almost nothing going on in it for a big chunk of the film. They bring back the original mother for like 5 minutes and then just immediately permanently disable her. Thanks for that. Appreciate that. Now we can't have her do anything cool in the sequels, you jerk. Oh, man, this was so disappointing. It wasn't the worst movie I saw this year. It's just, wow. Major freaking letdown, dude. I don't know what he's doing, what he's thinking, why he thinks this is good. It's just not. And Hollywood has this big thing that they do now where they bring back old stuff but make it bad. Jurassic World Dominion. Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. There you go. There's two examples. I don't know. But it's frustrating. And number 2, we have Shazam, Fury of the Gods. This was bad. This movie was so poorly written. There is so many plot holes in this. Some of the jokes work. I get it. But this is just another CGI superhero movie with lazy writing, and I'm tired of it. And I also don't appreciate Zachary Levi talking about how good this movie is and how frustrated he is that the movie's bombing because it's a good movie. It's not a good movie. It deserves to bomb. Okay? It's not a good movie, dude. I watched his Instagram live thing where he was like, go see the movie. It's a good movie. No. No. No, Zachary Levi. I respect you. I love you. This was good. This movie's not. There's just so many plot holes in it. There's a lot of plot holes. Just plot hole after plot hole after plot hole. Terrible, boring, forgettable villains. Terrible, boring, forgettable story. Just nothing about this was memorable. At all. Complete waste of time. No. This is the current state of superhero movies. Is movies like this. Stop it. Stop it. If you're just... And you know, people are... I mean, I know this one bombed, but people keep supporting bad movies, so we keep getting more bad movies. Hopefully this and the Marvels bombing will send some kind of a message. I didn't see the Marvels either, by the way, but I guarantee that would be on this list too if I saw it. I skipped it, but I guarantee if I saw it, that would be on this list too. And at number 1, you guys knew this was coming. This one was obvious. This one was just so freaking obvious. It's Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Yo, what was this, dude? I just recently did a review for this. Go check it out. This was bad. I mean, I get that it was made on a $100,000 budget, but holy crap. This was bad. The acting was so bad. The costumes of Winnie the Pooh and Piglet were so bad. It was so obvious. It was just dudes wearing masks. They didn't even look like real animals. The cinematography was bad. The kills weren't good either. Wow. Like, this was garbage. Like, I was entertained by it at least, but not for the right reasons. It's just because it was bad. It was so bad. Like, wow, this was bad. This was really bad. Like, Jesus was bad. Yeah. And we're getting a sequel to it, which is nice. So that's great. I want. But you know what though? Hopefully, there's possible hope because I guarantee the second one is gonna have a higher budget since this movie made money. So hopefully they can hire some better actors and better cinematographers and some writers and a director and pretty much everything. Pretty much everything should be better because it's bad. It's really bad. Really, really cheap. Bad. Just bad. Okay. I'm done. I'm out of here. That's it. I'm done. Yeah. There was some bad movies this year. But I think last year was worse. I think last year was definitely worse. Yeah. I would say that last year was worse than this year for sure. I'm done. Okay, well, thanks for watching. Subscribe. I got more stuff coming soon. I got a surprise review that I'm planning to do. I'm planning to do a Christmas special, and I'm planning to do my top 10 most anticipated of 2024, which I gotta say, 2024 doesn't have nearly as many titles as I'm like really excited for that this year did. Like, it seems like we got like all the big releases this year, so there's like not many coming out next year. At least that's not been announced yet. But there are a few, like Dune 2, and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. So not saying they're not there, but there's just not nearly as many. But whatever, that video is coming soon. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, and thank you for rocking with me this year. I'm gonna be saying that again because this is not my last video of the year, but. Thank you for rocking with me this year. I appreciate it. It's been fun. It's been real. You. Appreciate it. All right.